Hey guys, what's going on? MaxFTE here, and today I'm back with another Pokemon Go video. Today we're going to be jumping into another Master League Premier Cup with a team of Snorlax, Rhyperior and Gardevoir. This is actually a team that Yonkers used. It was a very good team, so I thought I'd give it a go. Very sort of focuses on winning the lead. But yeah, did you also know that only 3.5% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed? So if you're enjoying, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe, and yeah, let's jump into the battles. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is actually a team that Yonkers used recently. Extremely solid team if you sort of know how to play it well. Me, myself, I'm still sort of getting to grips with it. However, we did manage to pull a good 5 wins in this video, which is really nice. As well, as I mentioned earlier, the sort of premise with this team is you've got Snorlax on the lead, which is an extremely neutral Pokemon, is very tanky, and you can sort of take... If you want it, you can generally take Switch against near enough everything. There's not really anything that actually walls Snorlax, which is really nice. And so you've got Rhyperior in the back as well as Gardevoir. There isn't really a safe swap for this team, to be honest. Like, I've never been in a position where I've thought I actually need to safe swap. And sort of, like I say, Snorlax being so neutral is good. And you've got Rhyperior, which is going to handle your sort of steel types and your sort of doesn't want to see your water types, as well as Gardevoir, which is going to handle the dragons and basically your stuff that is good against Rhyperior. And so yeah, Rhyperior and Gardevoir cover each other extremely well, and so yeah, like I've mentioned, that's the premise of this team, and we're going to see what we can do with it. There has also been talks of using Shadow Snorlax in the lead. I did have enough Candy XL to power up either my 98 regular Snorlax or my, I think it's like 91 Shadow Snorlax. I did obviously go for my regular one. However, I regret it a little bit, but it is what it is. We're not actually that far away from being able to max out another one, so I'll probably try and do that in the not too distant future. First game though, gonna win with the triple axle on the Gardevoir, taking out the Dragonite. Primarina, Charm Primarina at that as well, which is not so bad. That means that the Rhyperior isn't as afraid of it. Obviously, anything water or grass, Rhyperior does not want to see at all. So, like I say, just going to be staying in here with the Snorlax, going for the body slams. Licks are going to be adding up with the damage that they're doing as well and charging up the energy. Going for another body slam. I think, unfortunately, they did manage to sneak a charm through there, which wasn't so good timing for me. And they do come in with a Magnezone. So Magnezone is definitely not something you want to be safe swapping, just because of that double weakness to ground. And Rhyperior just completely walls it, so you're able to farm all the way down, come out with a ton of energy. And thankfully, just because they had Charm on their Primarina, they can't even just totally wall the Rhyperior. We do still have a lot of health on it, and they come in with Annihilate, and this game is over. There's nothing they can do. Just because we've got Gardevoir in the back, we can save our shield for the Gardevoir, and yeah, we're going to be looking really solid here. Going for the break and swipe anyway, just trying to get their attack down a little bit, which we managed to do that. And save the shield up whatever they throw, just because I know that... Well, okay, never mind. I obviously don't. I don't know if I think I must have been counting there and knew that it wasn't going to be a Shadow Ball. Otherwise, I'm not sure why I didn't shield that. Just because Shadow Ball pretty much one-shots Gardevoir. That's the one thing you need to watch out for this team. One thing I've sort of been struggling with this team is I've managed to get switch advantage with the Snorlax. However, I've gone sort of down shields, and that I end up sort of... Opponent has shield advantage, and just because Rhyperior and Gardevoir aren't the most sort of bulky Pokemon, they've just thrown charge moves and managed to take the game that way, which I'm still sort of getting used to how to properly play this team. But yeah, it is what it is. We do unfortunately lose switch advantage against the Conkeldurr. That's something that I haven't seen in a while. Mamoswine going to come in here, and we're going to build up to the Rock Wrecker, I want to say. It is funny because I think in Yonks' video he actually did say about how Nobody expects the Rock Wrecker because it charges so quickly compared to what you're sort of used to, so there's no point really baiting. However, I don't know if sort of his video has been quite popular and it's actually sort of put more awareness out there, but every Rock Wrecker I've thrown has been shielded. Every breaking swipe I've thrown has just gone straight through. But is what it is. Going for the Rock Wrecker up against the Togekiss, which is going to take them out, which is really nice. And we are going to go for a breaking swipe. This is going to hopefully lower their attack, which it does, and we are able to just barely farm all the way down. I think that breaking swipe debuff actually saved the game for us, which is really lucky. Snorlax up against Skeledirge, slightly iffy, just because we don't have any charge moves that are actually going to be even neutral against them. There is sort of potential for running Outrage on the Snorlax just to sort of cover yourself a bit better against your Dragonites. Well, not just Dragonites, your dragons in general. But then that sort of leaves you a bit open to steel types a bit more. But so it sort of just depends on what you're seeing, really. Whether you're getting a lot of steel type leads or if you're getting a lot of sort of Skeledirge leads. Depends. They are going to come in with Metagross, and we are just barely able to one shield and farm all the way down. We are going to go for a Rock Wrecker, and thankfully this is another Charm Primarina. Again, if they had Waterfall, that would be taking us out in like 2 hits, so going to get to the double Rock Wrecker, which is really nice. I think at this point there's not even a point baiting with the Rhyperior, just because Breaking Swipe would be doing nothing, as well as that the risk of sort of going for that debuff as well is not worth it. Unfortunately, we are in against the Skeledirge with our Gardevoir, which is not good. Gonna let the Disarming Voice go through, and we're gonna swap back into our Snorlax. Gonna go for a Body Slam, which isn't gonna be doing much, but it does add up. Every damage counts. They are gonna shield that up, which is actually quite funny. Gonna throw a shield up ourselves. They're gonna have to go for Disarming Voice just because Shadow Ball is not gonna be doing anything. Gonna throw 4 licks and then go for another Body Slam. Again, not doing much damage, but it does add up. And so they're going to go for another Disarming. I think this barely doesn't KO. And so... Oh, sorry, I didn't actually realise that was the last Pokemon. Nice. Are going to take that game there. Snorlax against the Magnezone. I forgot the name of it for a second there. They're going to swap out straight away into their Annihilate. And so we can just come in, count up, and make sure that they actually build to a Shadow Ball. 8 counters for a Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, they do bait us with a shield, and so I think at this point I was a bit worried about a Shadow Ball coming through, so we do unfortunately lose both shields very early into the match, and they are going to be able to near enough farm us all the way down with the Magnezone, but just because we have actually built up our attack with the Triple Axle, the Charm is actually going to be doing quite a lot against the Magnezone, so they are going to be forced to go for moves here, which is quite nice. It just means they don't get to build up sort of heaps of energy. Going to come in with the Rhyperior here, I want to say. Throw a couple moves and take them out. And they are left with a, I think that was a Gyarados. Go for a Breaking Swipe. Hopefully get their attack debuffed a little bit. They do shield it as well, which is really nice. And it's even better, just because that's their last Pokemon, they're not actually able to switch out and lose the attack debuff. So, happy with that. I'm going to go for a Body Slam. At this point, it's game over. Like, we've got 2 Pokemon, there's not much they can do, as well as having their attack debuffed. I mean, look at how much that Aqua Tail did to Snorlax. Nothing. So, I'm going to throw our Body Slam. They are going to shield it up. Just clinging on for dear life. And I'm going to go for a Crunch here. And just to rub salt in the wound, they don't even get the debuff on us. Again, Body Slam being thrown here. That's going to take the Gyarados deep into the red. I'm not sure why I did that. I think I wanted to save energy on the Snorlax, but yeah, I'm really not sure what I'm doing here. I should have just thrown the Breaking Swipe, taken them out. I think I was getting a bit too confident, and then I didn't actually realise how little health I had on the Snorlax. So yeah, that was sort of playing with fire a little bit there. But could have gone worse. But we did manage to pull 5 wins, which was really good. Obviously, there were a couple of outtakes which we didn't include. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you've got any team ideas or suggestions in the comments below, let me know. I do read every comment. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Helps on the road to 10k. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya. Peace.